What up, Flow fam? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Luminous, and today we are talking about how to get sponsored. But of course, before we jump into things, make sure to give this video a like, leave me a comment, and don't forget to hit those notification bells. That way you get notified when I post new content. Alrighty fam, so this is one of the questions I get asked a lot, and that is how I get sponsored. And with 13 years of experience in the flow arts community, being sponsored for the majority of those 13 years, as well as I've been sponsoring people through different companies that I worked for the past 6 years. I have a lot of experience in this realm of sponsor and sponsorship and ambassadors and street teams and all that fun jazz. So today I'm gonna give you all of the secrets on how to get a sponsorship. This is gonna be fun. All right, fam, let's go ahead and jump into it. So I just wanna say that having sponsors is amazing, but it's not like you absolutely have to have them if you're a professional flow artist. It's nice to have, but it's not the end all be all. So the first thing I want to do is define what is a sponsorship and what's like an ambassadorship, because you hear those two terms slung around a lot. So the biggest difference between a sponsorship and an ambassadorship is a sponsorship, you get paid, usually actual money. With an ambassadorship, sometimes you get a discount code, sometimes you get store credit, sometimes you get free product, but it doesn't mean that you are going to get those things. It really depends on what the company has structured for their sponsors or ambassadors. But usually ambassadors is the lowest tier of what you can do with a company. So what you're doing is you're probably sharing some post. Basically, the company has pretty much said, yeah, this person's pretty cool. They can be associated with us. And that usually works out really well for both you and the company. So a lot of times you'll hear street team or ambassadors, or sometimes you'll even hear companies' own branded terms for people that they are having be ambassadors for the company. So definitely when you're looking at these things, look at what they're offering and kind of decide is it an ambassadorship or is it a sponsorship? Not all companies do sponsorships and not all companies do ambassadorships. And depending on the company, they might be asking you to do different things in order to adhere to the sponsorship or the ambassadorship. So definitely make sure that you are fully aware of what the company is asking for and if that is something that you can deliver. All right, so let's talk about how you actually get these things. All right, so the first thing that you should keep your eyeballs open for are applications for sponsorships. Make sure you're following all these companies so that way you get kind of detailed in if there is an application for a sponsorship or not. And again, not every company does an application. A lot of times they will reach out to people that they want to sponsor. And if that is the case and they're not putting out applications for sponsorships, that's fine. You know what you can do? Find their email and email them and ask them. That's how I've gotten a lot of sponsorships, is I've just emailed them and be like, hey, you interested in sponsoring me? And either it's gonna be a yes or it's gonna be a no. And you know what? Sometimes people are gonna say no. And you know what? That's okay. That means that they are losing out and you can go on to the next one. So when you do email these companies, a really good thing to have is a really good, strong letter about who you are, why you would be good for the company, what the benefits of having that company sponsor you would be. And also, to put a little cherry on top, send them your media kit. I've talked about this a lot on this channel, and everybody should have a basic media kit put together. And if you don't know what a media kit is, go ahead and Google media kit, and there's tons of examples online of how people do their media kits. So you can either do it in Canva, or if you have access to Adobe, you can do it in Photoshop or InDesign or whatever to design your media kit. So I recently found this website that's a template for media kits. I'll go ahead and link it here, and I'll link it in the description down below so that way you can actually go to the website. So basically what it is you plug your information in, it generates a media kit for you, and bing, bang, boom, you got a media kit. All right, so the next part is, what are these companies actually looking for in a sponsee or an ambassador? So number one is obviously going to be a healthy following on your social media. This does not mean that you need to be a social media star. The biggest thing that companies are looking for is somebody who's going to be able to connect with more flow artists to get their brand and product out there to more of these people. The most important thing is that your followers are flow artists and your feed on your socials is about flow arts. See, if you are mostly posting about dogs dogs or about food and all the people who follow you are super into dogs and food, that doesn't make sense for a flow arts company to sponsor you. So you want to make sure that your feed is about flow arts, the people you're connected to are flow artists, or people that could be interested in flow arts. So another thing that we look for is that you are posting consistently. We don't want you to post like once last year or like once every 2 years or whatever. Like that's not going to get you any sponsors. So if you're posting like once a week or every other day, you know, like frequent posting about flow arts, you're gonna be much more likely to get picked versus somebody who doesn't post very often. So another thing that we look for that you probably don't know is your location. Where are you based out of? So when companies are picking you, we're being very targeted in who we're picking because we want to target your market. So we will look at your location and figure out where you're at, and we'll look at where those like local communities are and like different things in our sales and our back end to make sure that we're hitting areas that we don't sell to very much or places that we do sell to very much, and we want to bolster that. It's very strategic. Like the people that are picked, it's very strategic. Okay, so the last thing that I want to touch on is your online presence, your behavior. So when you're being looked at to be sponsored or getting involved with a company, that company is going to look through all of your socials. They're going to look through everything to make sure that you're not, you know, a bad person, you know, posting like racist things or, you know, horrible things. So an important thing that I want to point out is brands do not want to be associated with people that could be potentially very harmful to the brand. So if you're posting racist, homophobic, you know, just icky things on your social media, that brand is not going to work with you. And when you do get a sponsorship, if you are like out there spewing gross, hateful things, that not only looks bad on you, but that looks bad on the company. I've definitely been with companies where they've had sponsees say terrible things, and then like for the next several years, everybody associates that brand with those people. And it's just like, those people had nothing to do with the brand. They were just, you know, sponsors, and they said horrible things. It's like, okay, you know, the best thing that company could do is just separate from that person, but that awfulness stays with the brand. So a lot of brands are very reluctant to even have sponsors or ambassadors. So my final words to you is be confident. You know, be confident, you know, let those companies know why it's important that they sponsor you and not somebody else. Why you are the important person that they should be like, you know, investing in your future. Because that's basically what it is. It's kind of like a little investment of like, yeah, this person's awesome. We want to help them, they'll help us. Because it's a very mutual beneficial relationship. Because getting sponsors and ambassadorships and things like that, that is stuff that you can put on your resume. And you should be putting it on your resume. Because you guys deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve a sponsorship. You deserve to do amazing things in the flow arts community. You just got to go out there and be confident. And I know that's the hardest thing, is to like have that confidence, especially if you haven't been in the scene like super long like I have, because I'm a freaking dinosaur. 13 years. Ooh. But I love it. Honestly, it's because of people like you that I come back all the time. Do let me know if these tips helped you. I would love to know that. That would be really, really cool. And of course, this channel is brought to you by literally the most important people in my life, and that is my Patreon supporters. And if you want to become a Patreon supporter, you can head on over to my Patreon, where you can become a member, or you can head on over to my website, luxluminous.com, where I have lots of fun flow arts related clothing, and every single bit of money raised goes directly into funding this channel, so that way I can keep bringing you more content. And of course, we have the wizards of the channel, and the wizards of the channel are Flow Toys, Astro Hoops, Matrix Fire Safety, Fun and Motion Toys, Pyrotary Light Toys, Flow on Fire, and Flow Fist. If you're new or lurking, welcome to the Wand Life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions at all, always leave me a comment down below, and I will help you out. See you all on the wand side.